Good morning to all of you. On behalf of all of us here at the USGBC, I would like to welcome you to our town hall today. We are gathered here in an extraordinary times with a global pandemic not seen in the last 100 years. I really hope this is a once in a lifetime event for all of us. As we recover from this pandemic, let us remind ourselves that we have inherited this earth from our not from our forefathers, but we have borrowed it from our children. So all the actions that we carry forth after this is keeping in mind the welfare of the future generations. Our New England and Middle Atlantic region includes the 10 states of Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont. Thank you all for joining us this morning and taking time out of your busy day to connect with USGBC. We would have preferred to be with you in person at the beautiful University of Buffalo campus. Although we can't be there in person, I'm excited that we can join together virtually this morning for a conversation about the future of USGBC and our upcoming activities and programs as we navigate the current pandemic and our new normal. I'm Gautam Taraftar, and I work as the Market Transformation and Development Lead for our region. I am joined today by my co-workers, Tracy Hall, who is based just outside of Buffalo, New York, and Medea Vilray, who lives in New Jersey. We are grateful to ARC for presenting our event today. You will hear from ARC's Chief Operating Officer a little bit later. Now, as we continue, I wanted to encourage everybody to ask questions using the box which appears on your screen. To continue forward, as part of our town hall series in 2019, Mahesh went around the country and visited 30 cities to engage with the leaders and the communities on the ground. In continuing with the momentum he set, he had plans to visit 30 more cities in 2020, so he can connect firsthand with the people who are driving the change within our sustainability ecosystem. He joined us in New York City on January 24, and thereafter was able to visit the Pacific region cities in person. Since March 11, we went virtual, and he has met with audiences in the East, North, Central region and the South Atlantic region so far. He is with us this week to share with us his vision for the future. As the USGBC sets the vision for the next 25 years, we remain committed to the 4 pillars of sustainability, health and wellness, resilience, and equity. We continue to build upon the foundation of LEAD with our newest version, LEAD v4.1, increasing our reach through our members and real impact within the space of existing buildings and communities by focusing on project performance using LEAD. In the spirit of healthy competition amongst the states, we created the top 10 states in LEAD map in 2015. The yellow highlighted states here represent the top 10 for 2019. Here is the data for the top 10 states for 2019. New York and Massachusetts have consistently been part of the top 10 list since we started publishing it. I hope and wish that other states within our region make it to this list in 2020 and the years to come. We wanted to recognize our New York Upstate Market Leadership Advisory Board, who are very supportive of our work and continue to have a huge impact in the areas they serve. They help elevate the conversations we have with influencers within the region. While the state of New York continues to be in the middle of the pandemic storm, certification activity continues at a healthy pace within this region. Buffalo State College's Bishop Hall certified to LEED Silver in March. The Buffalo Niagara region has 66 projects to date. Also, we are very proud of the work being done in the area of affordable homes within the New York Upstate's 55-county territory. A 73-unit affordable housing community named Milton Meadows Housing in the Ithaca area completed its certification recently. My favorite is the Alfandre Architecture Office in New Paltz, New York. Having achieved LEED Platinum in 2015, they recertified in 2019 for their office and did not stop there. They continue to push the boundaries of what is possible by completing LEED Zero certification for energy and water in March 2020. To me, they are the living embodiment of the motto, "We do it because it is possible." We listen to the feedback from project teams and clients. Most projects have pursued certification now on LEED Online. Some have now certified or recertified on the ARC platform. On our projects directory at usgbc.org, we now capture the full certification history of any project. Here you will notice that Alfandre Architecture initially certified in 2015, then they recertified in 2019 for a score of 92. Since they also registered their project on ARC, and we are using it for tracking their performance, you can see they currently have a score of 91. Just since January 2019, New York Upstate region has registered 85 projects and certified 172 for a combined certified space of 210,283,000 square feet of space. Of these 172 projects, 5 are platinum, 33 gold, 120 are silver, and 14 are certified. New York has the distinction of being home to 9,538 LEED professionals. 15 of the 316 LEED fellows till date also are New Yorkers. I know we have experienced a slowdown in the economic activity within this region, but as I said earlier, the certification activity remains strong. 15 projects received their certification within the last 6 weeks. We are showing here only those which are not confidential. I wanted to take a few minutes to share with you some exciting online programs we have planned for you in the next couple of months. In keeping with our commitment to social equity, USGBC has announced a 2-day virtual summit scheduled for 28th and 29th of May. I encourage you to attend it and would love it if some of you would agree to be a presenter at this event. Eric Backus, a member of our New York Upstate Board and member of LEED faculty, has been extremely generous in agreeing to share his expertise by hosting a deep dive into LEED v4 and v4.1. These are spread over 12 sessions of 90 minutes each. I would encourage you to register for the event. Any individual who joins or renews their New York Upstate membership will have their registration fee waived. Students attend for free. Joshua Radoff is a LEED fellow and a member of WSP. With his help, we have put together a series of webinars around the themes of carbon, LEED, and climate. He has agreed to host 5 of these sessions in 2020. Our next event is on June 11, where Joshua will be sharing his wisdom on how LEED v4.1 can help mitigate climate change. USGBC continues to celebrate women leaders in sustainability under the banner of Women in Green. New Jersey is hosting our regional virtual celebration of Sheroes on June 18. Lastly, as we navigate through these difficult times, I wanted to leave you with some things you can do to actively stay involved with your local communities and USGBC. Please do join as an individual member or join us as an organizational member. Sign up to receive our newsletter. We are extremely proud to be able to reach over 20,000 members every 2 months through our regional newsletters. We continue to share your successes over Facebook, LinkedIn, on Twitter, and Instagram. So please do share your stories with us. For the remainder of 2020, we have gone fully virtual. Please join us for our virtual events and invite a colleague. Join a committee to serve your local community. Sponsor an event. Get involved in your local community. We have a wide variety of avenues and activities where you can participate. Most importantly, we want your feedback. The education programming we offer is based on what you have expressed a desire to learn from us in the past. We want to keep the dialogue going. We appreciate your feedback. You will receive a survey after this event by email. With that, I would like to invite the Chief Operating Officer of ARC, Mr. Dave Wittek. His support helped us bring this town hall to you this morning. Thank you, and over to Dave.
Thanks, Gotham. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with all of you here today. Wish we were there in person. I'm a native New Yorker, so I would have loved the opportunity to come back and see the area. I want to share a little bit about what we've been up to over the last 6 or 8 weeks. Some of you may know us from the old lead dynamic plaque days or maybe the early days of ARC, and we've been up to a lot lately, and so I hope that you'll see some things that will help you in your daily work as we go through this. So ARC is a technology platform that focuses on the performance of your building. It picks up generally where LEED traditionally is left off, where LEED is about the intent of your building and the design, and that it was constructed to that same design. ARC then jumps in to measure it once it goes operational. It asks, how's it performing now that people have moved in? We're grateful to the more than 350 projects in New York who are using ARC already, who represent almost 500,000 occupants who are helping their employees and their guests enjoy this space. On a global basis, we are in more than 90 countries. We're working with close to 10,000 projects, over 6.5 million occupants, and 3.5 billion square feet of space. We're helping those projects to measure, benchmark, score, and report their data on energy, water, waste, transportation, human experience, and carbon emissions. By tracking your project's performance, you can make adjustments to energy and water use and save money on your operational costs. I want to show you here how we've used ARC at the USGBC office. We're now able to measure that on a near real-time access, and our facilities team is able to make adjustments based on any changes they see in real-time usage changes. So our baseline year, 2011, we had about 1 million kilowatt hours of use. And by 2019, we had gotten that down to 425,000 kilowatt hours. So we've shaved off nearly 600,000 kilowatt hours, and that equates to $80,000 in savings. And that's an annual number, not a one-time savings number. But ARC has been set up to meet you where you are. We want to find a starting place for every project, no matter where you are on the continuum. At the end of 2019, we launched something called ARC for All. And what that means is everybody, everywhere can use ARC at no cost. All a project has to do is enter their data into ARC, and you'll receive your performance score. So if you have LEED and non-LEED buildings in your portfolio, you can bring them all into ARC to measure and compare in one place. Your data management and your reporting requirements become centralized and easier to track. We also recognize that not everybody can get LEED certified right off the bat. And we want to help those projects get started on their sustainability journey and on an incremental path towards LEED. For that, we've introduced category level performance certificates. If you're interested in your energy rating, just enter your data and we'll recognize you with an energy category certificate and your energy performance score. You can complete each category: energy, water, waste, transportation, and human experience, one at a time. And if you achieve all 5, you'll be ready for LEED certification. A great example of this is in Brazil, where more than 350 schools are using our performance certificates. They're on a pathway towards LEED Zero for energy, but they're using performance certificates to communicate to their stakeholders what they're doing around sustainability today. And of course, if your ultimate goal is LEED, ARC can be used to achieve LEED certification or recertification using your performance data. ARC powers LEED 4.1 O&M certification, LEED Zero certification for energy, water, waste, and carbon, and recertification for any of the versions of any of the LEED rating systems. To assist with better understanding ARC and the importance of performance measurement in general, we're creating several Performance Pro trainings. All can be taken on demand and will earn you a course completion certificate and GBCI CE credits. This Friday at 1 o'clock, we're holding a live online training that I'm sure Gotham can point you to if you're interested, or you can find it on the ARC website. And just last week, we released a new offering called ARC Essentials. This will include a set of tools, features, and reports that allow advanced users to gain even more insight into their projects. This includes the ability to look at strategies used by LEED new construction projects in your area to assist with your design planning. It'll allow you to model score changes based on changes in performance. And you'll be able to create detailed reports for your project, which can be customized and exported for your use. We believe that performance is the future of green building, and we established the ARC Performance Platform to help people design, build, and operate buildings and spaces that benefit both people and the environment. We'll be holding webinars on May 27th, 28th, and June 4th with guest speakers who all have portfolios within ARC who will be sharing their experiences. I'd love it if you'd plan to join us at one of those, but please get started with ARC today. I want to thank you for your time. And with that, I'd love to introduce the President and CEO of USGBC and GBCI, Mahesh Ramanujam. Good morning, Mahesh.
Good morning, everybody, and good morning, Dave. Thanks to Dave and Gautam and Tracy for organizing this wonderful town hall. And thank you all for joining us today. And I hope that you and your families are all staying safe and healthy. And please know that from all of us at USGBC, we are sending our good thoughts and prayers to those of you in New York. And hopefully you'll be soon coming out of this crisis. And here at USGBC, and for those of us in the green building community, we spend the better part of our days talking about the need for our society to be more resilient, healthy, and equitable. The global foundation for sustainability we have set in place is indestructible. And even in the midst of an unprecedented public health crisis, I have no doubt that what all of us have built over the last generation of USGBC will endure. Our work and our mission have not stopped. In fact, they are more important now than ever before. We have the opportunity to gather under the common banner of humanity and champion a better quality of life for millions of people around the world. So I find comfort in knowing that we will emerge a stronger community in the months and weeks ahead. And I'm so grateful to be a part of this community and that you've all taken the time to join us today to discuss how we can move forward together. On behalf of everyone at USGBC, I would like to also thank our healthcare workers, emergency responders, grocery store employees, and all other essential workers who are working day in and day out to protect their communities. For more than 25 years, we have worked together to build USGBC, GBCI, and LEED into the extraordinary entities they are today. And now, as we enter the second generation of USGBC, and as COVID-19 continues to change our life, we have the opportunity to help each other by sharing our best practices and resilient behaviors with vulnerable communities all around the world. We can rely on each other and on these foundations to help us recalibrate and recover from this crisis. But to be able to effectively initiate that recovery, we must refine lead strategies to clearly communicate the economic, health, and environmental benefits of a project to its occupants and the community at large. At USGBC, we believe the greatest investment we can make is in each other. That's why we are an inclusive and diverse family of green builders from across the globe. We are real estate leaders, developers, contractors, architects, engineers, educators, innovators, and companies, all working together to build healthy, efficient, and equitable communities for all. Especially in times like these, I'm so honored to be a part of this community of leaders. So thank you for everything you have done. Your work has fueled us over the first generation, and I'm proud of what we will be able to accomplish together, and I'm excited and optimistic for what we will build next. And thank you to our USGBC members who are on the front lines and helping others to get through the impact of the COVID-19 outbreak. This includes NYU Langone Health, who in addition to being on the front lines of the outbreak, is also conducting research efforts, such as using genomic sequencing to determine the genetic code of COVID-19. So on behalf of everyone at USGBC, we thank NYU Langone for their leadership. And we have been sharing the stories of our members and their frontline responses on our website. So I encourage you all to check them out. And if you have a story to share, please share it with us and we'll promote it on our website. Now here in New York, there are 508 of you as members. This includes platinum level members, WSP, Colgate-Palmolive, Turner Construction Company, and Tishman Speyer, and members like Thornton Tomasetti, SL Green Realty Corp, Brookfield Properties, Vornado Realty Trust, and the State University of New York. I hope you know that membership is absolutely vital to our work. Members fund and support everything that we do and everything that I'll be talking about today. Because of membership dues, we are able to invest in LEED, ARC, provide scholarships to students to attend Greenbuild, and so much more. Without you, none of this work would be possible. You are investing in the future of green building with us, and together we are building a sustainable future for all. And the baseline of that future, as you know, is LEED. I want to give you all a quick update on how far we have come over the first generation and where we are headed with LEED in the future. 20 years ago, when we created LEED, we created a universally agreed upon holistic system for reducing environmental impact and providing a quality indoor environment, always with the goal of reducing carbon emissions, addressing climate-related risk, and improving the health and well-being of the occupants and people in buildings, communities, and cities. And today, green building has grown into $1 trillion industry, and LEED has become the most widely used green building program in the world. It's a full-scale global movement. Here is just a few milestones we have hit. 102,000 registered and certified commercial projects, 2 million plus registered and certified residential units, projects in 178 countries and territories, and 205,000 plus LEED APs developing, contributing, and implementing the LEED rating system across the world. Think about those numbers. Each of you has contributed to that legacy. You have helped improve your community through each project, each building, each credential. And you have helped ensure that LEED is not just a de facto leadership standard, but also a living standard. Because of the work you are doing, people know that if they are in a LEED certified building, they are using less energy, less water, avoiding waste, saving on maintenance costs, improving indoor air quality, offering comfort to their occupants, and creating less environmental burden on their communities. And most importantly, they know they are in a building that enhances health and wellness. Here in New York, you're contributing towards these incredible numbers I just mentioned. And Gautam touched on some of these stats, but I'll quickly go through them. You have hit 6,895 registered and certified LEED projects, totaling 1 billion square feet of space. And there are over 12,453 LEED professionals directing this work across the state. And in January, we announced that New York made our top 10 states for LEED list once again. Thank you for contributing to New York's #3 position in the ranking of 2019. I would like to take this moment to share some of the great work taking part in New York, like the LEED Gold New York Presbyterian David H. Koch Center, the first project in New York City to certify under the LEED healthcare rating system. The design for the hospital's new ambulatory care minimizes stress, focuses on providing comfort, and improves patient experience. Sustainability features include a green roof that covers 30% of the roof surface and can retain up to 6 inches of stormwater, helping to cool the building. The high-performance building skin and high-efficiency mechanical systems are designed to decrease energy use by 18.7% and water usage by 30%. The resilient design enables the building to continue operating during an extreme weather event or disruption to city power. And the project is truly innovative and forward-thinking. Part of the challenge the project team faced was designing an environmentally responsible facility with the expectation that more sophisticated equipment will be incorporated into outpatient care environments of the future. To meet this need, the building's long-span structural system and tall floor-to-floor heights allow entire floors to be reconfigured with very little impact on hospital operations. Removable facade panels enable new medical equipment to be moved into the building as needed. Let's not forget, none of the progress you are making would be possible without education and our credentialed stakeholders. Credentials provides a means of becoming not just a participant in this field, but a leader. If you don't have your credential yet, I encourage you to take an exam soon. In particular, in light of the current situation, we have also made both the LEED GA and LEED AP with specialty exams available for online delivery starting last week. I also want to recognize the leadership of our 15 LEED Fellows in New York. The LEED Fellow is the most prestigious distinction awarded by GBCI and recognizes outstanding LEED APs who have demonstrated exceptional impact with LEED. Thank you to Kevin Stack, Neil Rosen, Susan Kaplan, Maureen McGarry Malay, Nico Kienzel, Paul Mayer, Craig Neeland, Robin Gunther, Rob Watson, Lauren Yarmouth, Pamela Lippi, Michael Dean, and Gina Bokra. And finally, Harry Garden, who has been a long-time leader in the New York community, a strong partner of USGBC for decades, and my dear friend. A LEED Fellow in the 2015 class, Harry is the founding principal of Garden and Garden Architecture. Harry is a nationally recognized expert in sustainable building and community design and has extensive experience in integrating these principles in a diverse range of buildings and building types and locations. During his 40-plus year career, his projects have achieved major awards from the AIA, ULI, ASLA, USGBC, and GSA. Harry has been involved with USGBC since 1996, serving on the USGBC Board of Directors, numerous LEED committees, the New York Upstate Market Leadership Advisory Board, and most recently on the GBCA board, of which he is now the chair of the Board of Directors. Harry received a USGBC Leadership Award in 2008 and has been responsible for leading over 3 million square feet of projects that have achieved LEED certification in construction, commercial interiors, and the ND rating system. On behalf of USGBC and the entire New York community, I thank Harry for his years of leadership and his constant counsel personally to me. I would also like to take a moment today to celebrate some of our emerging professionals who are graduating from universities across the region. These students have shown enthusiasm, initiative, and dedication to sustainability throughout their studies. Ryan Batke graduates this May with a bachelor's degree in construction management from SUNY College of Environmental Science and Forestry. In addition to serving as the president of the school's green construction group, Ryan competed in the DOE Solar Decathlon 2 years in a row. In 2019, he acted as the energy lead for his team, which placed him first in the mixed-use family division. In 2020, Ryan co-led his team to an honorable mention in the mixed-use multifamily division. After graduation, he will take the lead GA exam and work as an assistant project manager in New York City. Megan Ruffos graduates this May with a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from SUNY Polytechnic Institute. During her time in school, she took a course related to green building strategies to develop a deeper understanding of the environment and how she could help. Megan also worked on the lead recertification of the SUNY Poly's Wildcat Fieldhouse, focusing on indoor environmental quality. She then went on to earn her lead GA. And after graduation, Megan will work at Fulton Boiler Works as a mechanical designer, where she hopes to incorporate some of the green knowledge she learned from her experience with LEED. Rebecca Soberman graduates this May with a dual bachelor's degree in environmental health and business analytics from the University of Rochester. Her interest in buildings and natural habitats led her to a sustainability fellowship program in 2018. After presenting her fellowship research to the city of Rochester, she worked with the Monroe County Health Department in a large-scale revision of the sanitary code. And after graduation, she will work as a project manager for Epic Systems Corporation, specializing in implementing software that works with public health departments and hospital systems to track diseases and create preventative interventions. And finally, Kyle Thompson graduates this May with a bachelor's degree in civil engineering from Clarkson University. In 2017, he attended Greenbelt, after which he applied the information he learned to his studies. With encouragement from professors and classmates, Thompson went on to pass the LEED GA exam in late 2017. He continued to use lessons from his Greenbelt and LEED experience in class projects and helped other students prepare for the GA exam each semester. After graduation, he will pursue a master's degree in engineering at the MIT. We welcome these leaders to our community, and we look forward to watching them contribute to enhance our communities throughout their careers. If the first generation of LEED was about connecting the dots between awareness and adoption, about educating people on the impact of this work, then the second generation must be about accelerating adoption, and doing so through new metrics, new credits, new incentives, new goals, and new ways of implementing LEED at a time when the world needs it the most. In our latest version, LEED version 4.1, we have not only raised our energy reference standard, but also a carbon metric to the rating system for new and existing buildings. This way, we can directly measure the impact buildings are having on their climate, as dictated by efficiency, on-site generation and storage, and the grid of which it is a part. We've also made improvements to the renewable energy credit, so buildings are incentivized to invest in the kind of clean energy technology that lowers emissions even further. And in LEED version 4.1, we are asking project teams to understand the embodied carbon in their material selection. This way, they can use the whole building life cycle assessments and tools like environmental product disclosures to weigh options for building design and material selection with lower carbon impact. The material credits in LEED version 4.1 has been significantly simplified, and it is evident from that more than 8,200 credits have been substituted by 2,295 LEED version 4 projects around the world. That's exciting, because this means more projects are including sustainable and healthy materials to positively impact the health and wellness of their occupants. Additionally, the construction and demolition waste management credit rewards teams for reducing the amount of construction they're doing and the amount of demolition materials they are going through. According to the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, 10 to 15% of materials are wasted during the construction process. So this is a real opportunity to reduce embodied carbon by recycling and sorting these material streams. Adding carbon as a metric to everything we do sets the foundation upon which all new and existing buildings and eventually communities and cities can assess their current carbon footprint and begin mitigation. And projects in New York are already implementing LEED version 4.1, including the LEED Gold building, 120 Park Avenue in New York City, and 152 the Archie Circle in Deer Park. Two buildings, two LEED Gold buildings. That's exciting on LEED version 4.1. As Dave mentioned earlier, we have fully integrated ARC into LEED version 4.1, making LEED the first green building performance standard in the world. Through this integration, we are helping project teams to ensure that design, construction, and operational strategies are driving the expected performance outcomes for the project. We want all LEED projects to continue to demonstrate leadership long after they're constructed and occupied. Through our new recertification guidance, any LEED project, old or new, can recertify using 12 months of performance data. And the good news is over 490 projects have already recertified using this new guidance, and we expect this number to grow rapidly in the future. This includes 125 Maiden Lane condominium, which originally certified to LEED O&M at the certified level in 2016. Then recertified two separate times to LEED version 4 Gold with 70 and 77 points in 2016 and 2018. And now has achieved LEED version 4.1 Platinum certification with 82 points. To achieve this, 125 Maiden Lane incorporated numerous wellness drive amenities into their building, underwent 2 phases of retrofits, including installing building management system controls and HVAC upgrades, converting heating equipment from district steam to natural gas boilers and hot water, and adopted TEI's Building Policy Handbook, a program of LEED-aligned strategies for optimizing building performance and occupant wellness through building operations and management. I love stories like this. A project going from certified to 82 points. This is phenomenal leadership and a wonderful story of a continued commitment to reaching the highest levels of performance. And I intentionally said, instead of saying 125 Maiden Lane, I intentionally said 125 Maiden Lane. I wish we have 125 of Maiden Lanes around the world. It'll be awesome, going from certified to 82 points. Now, having said that, if we are going to move the needle to tackle climate change, we only have one choice: to set our sights at zero. We believe net zero is a powerful target that will move the entire industry forward to a regenerative future. This is where our leaders are growing and going. With 17 certifications already achieved, LEED projects are transitioning to net zero milestones, and yours can too. Yes, zero carbon emissions, but also net zero energy use, net zero water use, and net zero waste. Now, one of my favorite projects for LEED Zero is the Discovery Center Elementary School in Arlington, Virginia. $117,000 in annual savings to fund 2 teachers' salaries. If a school can deliver this, there should be no excuse for any project in the world not to pursue the LEED Zero goals. In addition to these savings and delivering a net positive energy balance, the school serves as the learning laboratory for students to get an early start on sustainability. So far, we have delivered 17 LEED Zero certifications, including the Colgate-Palmolive Burlington, New Jersey site that has achieved all 4 certifications: LEED Zero, LEED Zero Energy, LEED Zero Water, LEED Zero Waste, and LEED Zero Carbon. And I'm happy to see that hundreds of LEED projects are actively considering LEED Zero certification. And I'm excited that Alfandre Architecture achieved their LEED Zero certification in March of this year on 2 categories: LEED Zero Energy and LEED Zero Water. As Gautam pointed out, it's a beautiful and it's an excellent and phenomenal continuous improvement story. Let's keep raising the bar. While LEED Zero is made for individual buildings, we want to accelerate change on every possible scale. And that means not only addressing isolated projects, but the cities and communities that they belong to. We need to see the forest through the trees. That is why we created LEED for cities and communities. It's a change on an even grander scale. These programs are helping cities develop responsible, sustainable, and specific plans for green energy, water, waste, transportation, and many other factors that contribute to the human experience. They encompass sustainability and much more: quality of life, health, prosperity, equity, education, resilience, infrastructure, and energy. They're designed to support continuous progress toward developing better communities and cities, because better communities equal better lives. More than 100 cities and communities around the world, including Albany, New York Olympic region, Peter Cooper Village, and Stuyvesant Town in New York, are registering and certifying with us. And in total, these places cover more than 53 million people. Now you're looking at this slide. I want to take a minute to share some key takeaways from this slide. It's a pretty busy chart because we try to fit more than 100 cities and communities in this one. The first takeaway for you is that if you are in a city that is not on the list, please encourage that city to take action. That's the first takeaway. The second thing I want to leave you with is this: how LEED can be layered to support people, businesses, neighborhoods, and cities. If you take a look at that list, you will notice that Washington, D.C. is on the list towards your left. But so is the Golden Triangle Business Improvement District, a neighborhood within the city, to your further right, at the very bottom. Recently, Golden Triangle achieved LEED Platinum certification and became the first LEED certified business improvement district in the world. Golden Triangle has made significant efforts to ensure a clean, safe, and vibrant neighborhood for more than 89,000 people. It's a stellar example of how to use every possible inch to improve the quality of life and living standards for every person who visits or calls it home. And you may be wondering why I would be talking about Washington, D.C. and the Golden Triangle Business Improvement District in a New York town hall. And this is why. USGBC's headquarters, LEED Platinum office, is also proudly part of this Golden Triangle Business Improvement District. Imagine if every building asked their community and city to get recertified. And imagine if we connect all of the data through the ARC platform and we know exactly the impact our buildings, communities, and cities are making. Imagine that world. That is our vision. As Dave mentioned, ARC powers LEED, but we also know that there are many existing buildings that may not be ready for LEED. And to help them get started, we have introduced performance certificates that allow every project to get started and make incremental progress on specific performance categories: energy, water, waste, transportation, and human experience. It's like earning your college credits without really going through a full graduation program. And of course, these projects can eventually get to LEED certification if they want to. Now, this slide shows we have more than 9,700 projects in ARC, actively tracking data and reporting on their performance and doing continuous improvement. And the good news is As of today, 9,817 projects are now reporting data in ARC. That's an updated number. And close to 411 projects have already obtained their energy performance certificates, allowing us to jumpstart the much needed progress on our existing buildings. So if you're not signed on to ARC, this is the time to sign on and get on the scale. Because our theory is this: what gets measured gets done, what gets done gets improved, and what gets improved gets replicated. Now, all of these efforts from ARC to LEED Zero are part of our vision to ensure that the next phase of USGBC's efforts will be LEED positive, where buildings are actually generating more energy than they use and removing more carbon than they produce. And the way to get there may not always be direct. It'll require incremental steps, from a project tracked in ARC to a certified building to a LEED Zero building and beyond. The aspirational goal that I've set for USGBC is that we will require all LEED new construction projects to achieve LEED positive starting in 2025, and all existing buildings to be LEED positive by 2050. In the years ahead, LEED buildings must not do just less harm than traditional construction. Instead, they should be carbon positive and truly regenerative. They should generate more energy than they consume, save more water than they use, remove more carbon than they produce, and have a positive impact on the physical, mental, and social health of its occupants. In short, LEED buildings need to give back to communities more than they take from them. We need to reimagine how to grow and scale our projects so that in meeting this new demand, we create better, more inclusive spaces. And that will be achieved by all of us together. While cities across the globe work to flatten the COVID-19 curve and return to some sense of normalcy, we must face a new reality. The world we return to might look nothing like the one we left behind. The impact of the global COVID-19 pandemic will be felt for years to come on the economy, on people, and on our way of life. 50% of the world's population already lives below the poverty line. And the IMF estimates that in 2020 and 2021 alone, the cumulative GDP loss from this pandemic could be around $9 trillion. It's no secret that the most vulnerable among us will feel the gravest impacts. In fact, they already do. We are going to have extraordinary mental, physical, and financial health repercussions in nearly every part of society. Remaining resilient, both in business and life, will require every industry and individual to adapt at a pace we might never have thought possible. But what lies ahead is also a responsibility for us to design a more resilient future. We believe that healthy people in healthy places is the fastest way to build a healthy economy. And the global pandemic has only made our beliefs that much stronger and our mission that much more vital. We don't have to choose between public health and a healthy economy. The future will require both to thrive. That is why, going forward, we'll prioritize our efforts to build people's trust that their spaces are healthy and have a positive impact not only on them, but the economy at large. In other words, our second generation at USGBC will focus on our relevant and reimagined vision. Healthy people in healthy places equals a healthy economy. As Gautam pointed out earlier, this is a once-in-a-lifetime crisis, but it's also a once-in-a-lifetime chance for us to fulfill that vision by asking the right questions and discovering the most equitable, inclusive, and innovative solutions. Last week, USGBC announced a series of actions and priorities that will support the global recovery effort and leverage the power of our community to shape a healthier future for all. You can read the full list of what this recovery effort entails online, but I want to note a few things for all of you. First and foremost, GBCI has already amended its LEED review process, in immediate response to incorporate some of the lessons learned over the last 2 months from COVID-19. And we will be publishing a series of reports offering specific guidance on best practices to help project teams assist their occupants as they re-enter their spaces. We will be launching a call for proposals this week and organize an event in June to hear perspectives from the broader market on how LEED can help better evolve to deliver on the new reality we are facing. And we'll be making a series of upgrades to LEED version 4.1 that will be made available to project teams in August of this year. And on an emergency basis, we will release LEED pilot credits to support social distancing, non-toxic surface cleaning, air quality, and infection monitoring. In fact, as I'm speaking, shortly the LSC is going to meet and they're going to work and look at the 2 credits that are already ready to go. As soon as it's approved, we will be delivering it to the marketplace. And the best part is that USGBC will create a very custom offering, a way to certify buildings and spaces, regardless of whether they are LEED certified or not, whether they are already certified or they're in the progress of getting certified, basically encouraging them to use these pilot credits to really deploy that to build confidence and, most importantly, safety for the occupants of those buildings. Stay tuned. You'll be hearing about that a little bit more this week. We will conduct research reports to help our community understand broader trends in market and opportunities to advance our new vision. One of the most frequently asked questions to me is what's going on with the rest of the world. So we know that China has come back up. China is now bringing people back into the spaces. There are lessons learned that GBCI is in a unique position to share with the rest of the world. Pragmatic lessons that will help us to bring people back into spaces and make sure that they can stay healthy and well, so that we can reboot the economy. Now, as we are thinking about research reports and broader trends and market opportunities, we are also thinking this is the time to deploy the new much needed LEED ROI study to demonstrate both return on investment and return on impact. And finally, at Greenbuild 19, we announced our intent to launch the USGBC Equity Program. We will accelerate the implementation of this program in order to help our stakeholders address the social, health, and economic disparities within their communities. The pandemic has brought health to the forefront of people's minds, but the uneven ways in which the virus is impacting the most vulnerable reminds us of deep underlying social inequity. To respond to this, on May 28, 29, we are holding a USGBC Equity Summit, as Gautam pointed out, to help us collectively answer key questions that will shape the USGBC Equity Initiative and the second generation of USGBC. The 2-day event will consist of listening to community members' presentations on how to deliver on USGBC's promise of better buildings equal better lives by demonstrating equity. What is exciting to me is that as we are going to be revising LEED version 4.1, we are going to be making some much needed changes to the LEED rating system to make equity the core part of our conversation by making revisions to the intent, adding strategies to the integrated design process, and being able to consider some special credits that we can actually add to the LEED library so that project teams can keep equity in the forefront of design, construction, operations, and most importantly, performance. So I'm excited about bringing this vision because if we are going to build better buildings, let's prove that they are about better lives. Now, so far for this equity event that we planned on May 28th and 29th, we have received more than 500 people willing to participate and listen to the conversation for the 2-day event. And on top of it, we have already received a ton of presentation interest, which I will also ask you to participate if you're already not looked into either registering or presenting, as Gautam pointed out. But most importantly, keep in mind that this has already made us think about that we need to schedule the second equity event as soon as possible after the first event is over, because we have received such overwhelming interest and response. And I'm very glad that USGBC and GBCI will take a very strong lead on the equity space using the lens that we always apply to the marketplace, the buildings, the communities, and cities. How can buildings, communities, and cities can raise the bar on social equity around the world, and how we can project the leadership of our community in raising the social equity for the rest of the world, because we all care about one thing, a sustainable future for all. So please, if you're not already registered, please reach out to us or go to our website and register for the event on May 28th and May 29th. With that, let me remind you again that our renewed and reimagined vision as we try to get through this pandemic is healthy people in healthy places equals a healthy economy. This is our new timely, relevant, and necessary vision. We hope you will join us in making it a reality. Thank you.